story is scary. Rohan, wake up, it's 6:30. It will be late to go to school, Rohan's mother said in a loud voice. Rohan had awakened but was deliberately delaying getting up. Going to school today was very difficult for him. Sharma sir's crazy face came in front of his eyes, and he felt cramp in stomach. Rohan closed his eyes and lied silently on the bed. His mother noticed this behavior. She came to him from the kitchen and put her hands in his arms and lifted him up. "Mom, I'm sorry, I'm not going to school today," said Rohan. "Why did you start doing this? You drowned yourself saying that yesterday. Also, you had a stomach ache. Why don't you get up and go away soon?" said the mother in a bit of anger. Rohan got out of bed with a heavy body in mind. Rohan had a question in front of him about in what words and how he should tell his mother that Sharma sir is bothering him, asking him silly questions by slapping him with chalk. Even though the homework is complete, he shows false mistakes. Last week, Rohan was held by Sir after school for absolutely no reason, and sometimes, even thinking about it makes him cringe. Once in the class, Rohan was sitting in the middle of a break and his eyes went to the window on the right side. Sharma sir was standing and looking at Rohan. He had a strange fake smile on his face. Rohan was shocked to see him. The food in his mouth remained in mouth. Rohan finished his bath. He put on his school clothes and came out of the house with a box and a school bag. It was 7:30. Rohan hurriedly reached the school, thinking that if he was late, he would get in trouble again. The prayer had begun. Rohan stood in front of the classroom door. He slowly leaned in to see that there was no teacher inside. He was relieved to see that. The prayer was over and he was about to enter the classroom when a heavy hand fell on his shoulder. Rohan looked back in shock. Sharma sir was in front of him. Rohan saw a different shade in his eyes today. "What the hell? Can't you come to school on time?" Sharma sir shouted. "Sorry sir, it won't happen again," said Rohan, bewildered. "Come in." Master pushed him inside with a sharp slap on the back. Rohan sat on his seat in silence. Sharma sir came in with a rush. Children often put their homework books out. Rohan also took out his notebook and kept it open in front of him. Sharma sir was slowly glancing over everyone's books with a cane in his hand and a hitting sound was heard. "Nonsense. Did I ask you to write this down?" The master growled at Mahesh from the side and moved forward to hit another strip on his arm. Here Rohan's heart was beating fast. Homework was done, but his stomach was still churning with a different nameless dread. The master approached Rohan's seat and glanced at his book. As Rohan was about to swallow a mouthful, Master grabbed his ear and choked him loudly. "Please leave me, it's paining," Rohan shouted with fear. Master continued saying, "I told you 1,000 times to write homework in good handwriting. You are not such a listener. When the last hour is over, you should stay here. You are not going home." Rohan sat with his hands over his reddened ears. That half hour passed like several hours to Rohan. Hour after hour passed. The last hour had begun. Teacher for the last hour had not come today. The kids were talking in the class, but Rohan was sitting silently. Rohan was scared with thoughts like, "Today Sir will surely beat me like hell. Sir definitely has some evil plans today." This fear had taken over the young-minded Rohan of the 5th grade. Rohan was at a loss for what to do and came up with a solution. There were only 10 minutes left for school. As soon as the bell rang, that master would come here. He would not stop until then. Rohan got up. He clutched his school bag and ran out of the classroom. The rest of the children just stared at him. The school had a 5-foot wall on all 4 sides and 2 feet iron spikes were mounted on the walls. But there was a peon standing there. It was impossible to pass. Luckily, Rohan's class was just around the corner. Turning right, Rohan came to the back of the school. There was a big tree in a corner next to the wall. Without thinking, Rohan rushed to the tree, threw his briefcase over the wall and started climbing the tree. After climbing a little higher, Rohan started moving forward slowly, taking support of a branch. His chest was pounding. Sharma sir's face was coming in front of his eyes and fear was rising in his stomach. He moved forward with flailing limbs, leaving behind the wall as he was about to jump, but the branch of the tree broke in an instant. Rohan fell down directly on those iron arrows. In a moment, the iron arrow penetrated Rohan's stomach and within moments Rohan was released from this world. Rohan passed away. A large crowd had gathered in the school premises. Rohan's body was brought down. There was an outcry in Rohan's house. A few days passed by. The last hour that day was of Sharma sir. It was history hour. Everyone's books were checked, the book was taken out and the next lesson was taught and soon the school bell rang. The national anthem played and the children stormed out of the classroom. Sharma sir started to shuffle the luggage and a voice echoed in the classroom. "Sir, I have waited for the last hour." Sharma sir was shocked when he heard the voice. The hair on his neck stood up. He slowly raised his neck, which was bent down to fill the luggage, and what he saw. He was sitting on the last bench. His white shirt was stained with red and black blood. He was looking at the sir with crimson eyes, grinning with crooked teeth. Sharma sir was shocked to see him. His voice stuck in the throat. He got up from the bench and started walking slowly towards Sharma sir. Sharma's feet were stuck to the ground. The strength in the body was gone. He came closer. Yes, it was Rohan. There was a loud thud in the Sharma's chest. He collapsed and died on the spot.